I was watching TV and a pillow commercial came on, and I started crying because the people in the commercial were finally getting a good night's sleep.
One time I was on my period and I was like, oh my gosh, I want McDonald's. So I drove to McDonald's at 10:55 and breakfast stopped at 11. So by the time I went to put in my order, the woman was like, breakfast has stopped, it's 11 o'clock. And I started bawling hysterically and I was like, does breakfast just disappear at 11 a.m.? And then I drove away.
One time on my period, I cried just because I thought a burrito was so beautiful.
My sister took our 11-year-old pug on a walk by the beach, and when she came home, she told me that no one had offered to pet him, and he loves people, so I imagine that he was devastated by this, and so I cried because no one wanted to pet my dog.
I was driving home from school one time, but I really hate country music. And all the stations were playing commercials except for one, and it was playing country music, and I hated it so much that I cried.
I showed all my friends the movie Meet the Parents, and while we were watching it, they're just all making fun of it, and I got so frustrated when I was trying to defend it that I started crying.
I was drunk and on my period for this. We were at this divey bar, and they had that game Big Buck Hunter, which is simulating shooting deers in the woods. My brother started playing it and I just started weeping, and they were like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, we just have a really big issue with gun control in America. He had to take me home afterward.
One time I called my mom at 1 o'clock in the morning, hysterically crying, asking how to get rid of a giant cockroach in my bathtub.
One time on my period, I asked my mom to buy me Cocoa Puffs from the market, and then when she came home, I excitedly helped her unpack everything, and then everything was put away, and there were no Cocoa Puffs, and I went, Mom, what about the Cocoa Puffs? She was like, oh, honey, I forgot, and I just sobbed.
I was at the airport flying home, and I went to the sandwich place to get a sandwich, and I really don't like onions, so I ordered a sandwich. I was like, yeah, I'll have turkey and cheese, but please no onion. And I walked away with it to go eat it somewhere else, and I opened it up and there's onions on it, and I was like, what the fuck? And so I took it back and I was very politely like, excuse me, I ordered this sandwich with no onion. I got it back and I opened it up and there were still onions in it, and I was in this big airport cafeteria and I just started crying because I hate onions so much, and it really felt like the end of the world.
When I was in 3rd grade, I put a piece of gum underneath the desk and I felt bad. But then 3 weeks ago, when I had my period, I remembered it and I felt bad again, and then I started crying. I turned 25 in November.